Boys, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Dave, to begin with you, test match in Sydney, pretty damn exciting, I imagine. Sold out earlier. Just, how pumped is the group about getting on to the new Allianz?
Yeah, there's actually been a fair bit of chat this week, especially from the Tar boys. But no, the group's pretty excited. And, mate, even just to get the captain's run tomorrow and have a look at the stadium, I think is really exciting. A couple of, obviously, my teammates have been in the stadium already and told me what to sort of expect. But to go there with the boys tomorrow and then play on Saturday is going to be awesome.
Clearly, great win last week. From a bench perspective, and you're coming off the bench again, what was the feedback? What was the review like for the finishers about what are the expectations going into this second test against the Box?
Just pretty much be better. I don't think the bench unit collectively, I don't think we were good enough. We didn't finish the game off strongly as what we needed to do. Luckily, obviously the boys in the first sort of 50 minutes did a job and put us out to a lead, but obviously the Box came back strong and you could see they started playing the sort of game style that suits them and got on top of us in the end there. So, mate, we need to collectively be better as a bench unit and something that we're looking to do this weekend.
And just from a set-piece perspective, really tough always against South Africa, but particularly around the line-out was always competitive last week. What's been the focus points, and was there a reason why it didn't quite operate as fluently as perhaps it did against England, for instance?
Well, I think obviously they defended quite well, but also, I don't think we stuck to our sort of DNA. I thought our process was a bit off. We didn't have much tempo, which is something we're looking to drive, but, it's just ended up sort of being one of those days, unfortunately. And, again, it was, you don't see too many games where set piece doesn't function the way it does and you can still get out with the result. So South Africa are going to be better and we need to be better this week.
So Dave mentioned before, just trying to find that edge. I guess it's for both of you guys. Looking for that edge, particularly after sort of coming off a good win. Just wondering, how do you go about sort of achieving that in training, so keeping those levels high as you kind of build into this test and then with a better style on the horizon?
No, I forgot the question.
Well, obviously, you're coming off sort of a loss in Argentina. You're always going to have an edge in your group, aren't you? Physically, we needed to be better, and I thought we did that. So now it's, can we be a team that can sort of back it up? Can we, not just be sort of a one-game team and have to sort of always respond on the back of some adversity? Can we just continue to build? And I think in training with the intensity is always there. It's just making sure we're focused in on our jobs individually. And, everyone turns up on Saturday like we did last weekend, humming, ready to go with good energy and executing their roles.
I guess one for Hunter, sort of building that combination with Noah and also Lenny outside of you. How do you just kind of look to kind of fast track that and just keep that development going throughout this sort of Rugby Championship?
It's good to get a run alongside those guys. Obviously, they've connected a bit more at the Brumbies, but for me to slot in there and obviously easy to communicate with one another, so it's good. Hopefully build that combination right through.
With that sort of pre-existing combination with the Brumbies, do you kind of look to try and, how do you sort of keep maintaining your role whilst kind of fitting into what's kind of worked for them, but maybe in the past and maybe a particular kind of calls or things they're expecting from the other guys, having played so many times ago at the Brumbies?
Obviously they've played longer with each other at the Brumbies, but as you know, as we're here at the Wallabies now, is our system, and we just adapt and stick to our game plan.
Hey Lenny, when you're playing South Africa,
that's Hunter, mate.
Lenny,
Hunter, my bad. Yeah. Apologies. Hunter, when you're playing against South Africa, is it almost a case of, it seems like the Wallabies game plan is often a bit more simple against the Box, maybe a more pragmatic approach around kicking and so forth. Are the game plans, do they vary that much between some of the big nations, and against South Africa, do you feel like it's scaled back a little bit, the game plan, to play, field position and etc.?
Yeah, obviously South Africa, they're a real set piece team. You know, they love their contestable kicks and all of that. Their mauling, get it to line out and that. So our job is to try and turn their strength into weakness. You know, try and put it back there, play that territory battle, and yeah, we just got to stick to our game plan and yeah, and stay in it.
Do you feel like the game plan at times can be easy against South Africa because it's so clear that you've got to win the set piece, etc.?
Yeah, obviously we've got a game plan and we're pretty confident to go out there and deliver it. So, and every game is the goal was to win. So yeah, that's ATCH.
Guys, I guess this rugby championship is so open with, you know, every team's kind of beaten everyone almost at this stage. Like, realistically, with a win and a New Zealand win, you guys go 5 points ahead. Does that sort of quest for that title all of a sudden start coming into discussions, or do you keep that really focused just game by game and then see what happens from there?
Well, sort of I can only speak from my opinion there. I just sort of treat it game by game, mate. Like, obviously, as the trophy grows nearer, you obviously look to that and say you're in with a shot. But I think, you know, when you put on the jersey, you go out there to optimize your performance every single week. Doesn't change whether silverware's on the line or not for me personally. But yeah, obviously it's great for spectators and supporters of the Wallabies this year that, you know, it is even, and you know, it's all to play for. So it's an exciting sort of tournament so far.
And Dave, Dave Rennie just said that Michael Hooper's unlikely to feature in the rest of the Rugby Championship, and said that his availability is still not completely clear for the spring tour. But I know that you guys are close. I know that you've worked as teammates, and obviously this game's back in Sydney. Does it feel a bit weird that Hoops isn't there? And I imagine everyone's still keeping in contact with him. And is that the case?
Yeah. I caught up with him when I got back, and it is obviously a bit weird not hearing his voice in here right now, but he will eventually be back in, and the boys are supportive, and to be honest, with respect, that's probably all I'm going to say on that.